Hi guys, Denise here. I am a manifestation coach. Welcome to my channel. If you're interested in coaching, there's a link in the description below that will take you to all the various coaching modalities I offer, which goes beyond just one-on-one. Today we're going to talk about deciding versus searching. So probably get into a little bit of the pearl of great price and just really going to reiterate for you guys that many of us have been taught that we are plopped into an existence, plopped into a reality that is a fixed reality that is simply happening the way we're observing it, even outside of our observation of it. And this is not actually true to what reality is. Reality is an effect, and you are the cause. Okay, you are the cause to everything that you're experiencing, everything that you've been consciously aware of. It's coming from assumptions within you. It's your thoughts, assumptions, beliefs. It's the reflection of your state of consciousness and or self-concept that you hold of yourself in relation to this 3D world. Um, so that being said, a lot of us have gone through life looking for the answers, looking for what things mean, looking for why things are the way they are. We look to astrology, we look to numerology, we look to anything. We look to scriptures, we look to our friends, we look to psychics, we look to anything that's happening outside of us for the answers of what it means. And we're so programmed to search. I mean, even with physical symptoms, right? We search what's happening to my body? What is all of this? What does this mean? And we really want to start getting into deciding. And that's all we're doing actually. When we're searching, we're just deciding that whatever in our disempowered state, whatever we think would be most likely is probably what this means or probably what this is, right? When we go searching for something, we already, from the perspective of searching, from that state of consciousness, we already hold a dominant assumption as to what we think it will be. We might not be consciously aware of it, but if you think about it, whenever you're looking for an answer to something, it's usually coming from sort of an insecure, maybe fearful or worried, like, I hope it's not, but it probably is, or I hope it's not, but what if it is type of vibe, type of energy, right? And so we really want to get into, in that moment when you have the urge to search, what do I want this to be? What do I want it to be? What do I want it to mean? What do I want to make of this? And that's deciding. That's getting into actually being the operant power. That's trading in all these other things that you think to be the answers, you think that hold some sort of truth or have some recipe, right? Like that you have been missing out on, and this has all the power. This person knows the truth. It's in these numbers, it's in these tea leaves, it's in these tarot cards, it's in this crystal ball, it's in this pendulum. No, it's never that. That's just the manifestation of what you dominantly assume will be true for you. And it's just isolated to in that moment, right? It's right now you are pushing out a state of consciousness. That's it. Right now, you're pushing out a state of consciousness that you will experience in your 3D. So when you sit down and put a bunch of tarot cards in front of you, or someone reads your cards, or you look at your astrological sign, your horoscope, any of that information that you're receiving is just the reflection of a previous state of consciousness that you held. And if you want to look to those things, at least remind yourself of that when you're looking to it. This isn't truth. This isn't the end all be all do all. This isn't what is. This is reflecting back a previously held state of consciousness that I may or may not be still holding. That's the other thing you get to decide, right? So instead of looking for what things mean, look for it as guidance to what you've been assuming they mean. And then do those assumptions serve you? Do those assumptions feel good for you? And if not, what would you rather assume? What would you rather believe to be true? And remember that there is no truth out there. Anything that you assume and believe to be true, you will manifest the evidence that it is true. You will manifest the appearance that it is true. And you always have the control and the ability to change your assumptions. In every now moment, you have the ability, the free will to, in your mind, assume a new assumption with consciousness. What would it feel like if I assumed this instead? That's a great way to do it if you don't know how to get into a state of something that maybe you've never experienced or received before. What will it feel like to have this? How will I think? What will be different? What will I see? What will I hear? What will I experience that I'm not experiencing now? Right? And so in each now moment, when you start interpreting your reality, don't interpret it as fact, don't interpret it as truth. Instead, interpret it as a reflection of a previously held state of consciousness and an opportunity for you to decide if you still want to hold that state of consciousness. And if not, what state would feel better and what does that state feel like? All right. And that's what Neville talks about in his Pearl of Great Price lecture. It's trading all of that in. It's understanding that there is no cause outside of you that has the answer or is the missing piece or knows your path. No records, no cards, no numbers, no nothing. It's all just options of what's available. And truthfully, it's all available. You have, there's an infinite amount of options that are available for you to experience at any time. And so you're just standing dominantly in a specific assumption, manifesting what you are dominantly assuming, focusing on, believing to be true, the state of consciousness you're dominantly holding. And that's it. And it's an opportunity for you to evaluate that and see if that's serving you. And like I said, if not, what do you want to be experiencing instead? You are the only cause. You are always the only cause. You always have been the only cause, and you always will be the only cause. And allowing yourself to accept that as truth is how you become the operant power. You know, when you keep searching and looking for answers outside of you, you're reinforcing the assumption that you're not the operant power, that there's a greater force outside of you, that there's a greater power outside of you, that something externally has the answers or knows what's right or knows what's wrong or what you should do or what you're supposed to do, what you're meant to do. That's all bullshit. What do you want? Period. What do I want? What do I want this to mean? What do I want this to turn into? What do I want to feel right now? And what is that like? All right. All right. You guys are amazing. You're powerful. And I will see you all next video.